Imagine a peaceful night shattered by a horrifying incident. In the heart of a tranquil suburb, a 5-year-old boy's world was about to be irrevocably altered. A boy, filled with the innocence and joy that only early childhood can bring, nestled between his parents, wrapped in their warmth and love. His life was a picture of simplicity and happiness, a testament to the adage that love is truly all one needs. But as the cruel hands of fate would have it, this peaceful tableau was destined to be violently disrupted. The stillness of the night was abruptly broken by harsh whispers and the chilling sound of footsteps creeping closer. The boy's sanctuary, his home, was invaded by shadowy figures, their faces hidden in the darkness. The identities of these intruders remained a mystery, their motives unknown, their actions unthinkable. In the blink of an eye, the boy's world was turned into a nightmare. His parents, his pillars of love and security, were cruelly taken from him. Their laughter, their comforting words, their loving eyes, all were silenced forever. The sense of loss was overwhelming, the pain unbearable, the horror unimaginable. The echo of their last breaths hung heavy in the air, a chilling reminder of the love that was so abruptly ripped away from him. In the aftermath of the brutal incident, the boy was left alone, his world shattered, his heart broken. His tears fell like rain, his sobs a haunting melody of loss and despair. His once vibrant world was now a desolate landscape of loneliness and sorrow. But even in his darkest hour, he held onto a glimmer of hope, a desperate belief that he could reclaim the happiness that was stolen from him. That night, a child lost his innocence and his world turned upside down. But this was just the beginning of his journey, a journey that would take him from the depths of despair to the heights of success, from a peaceful childhood to a life filled with secrets, betrayals, and shocking revelations. From the ashes of tragedy, a new life began. A life that was as different from his old one as a diamond is from coal. All of a sudden, our protagonist found himself immersed in a world of affluence, a world that he could have only dreamed of before. His new home was a mansion, a palace compared to his modest childhood abode. The high ceilings echoed his footsteps, the chandeliers sparkled like constellations, the marble floors were as cold and smooth as ice. The smell of polished wood and expensive perfume permeated the air, a far cry from the familiar scent of his mother's cooking. He was no longer a child of the streets, but a son of privilege. The days of scrounging for scraps were over. Now he dined on the finest cuisine, his meals prepared by personal chefs, his table laden with silver and crystal. His clothes were made of the best fabrics, tailored to fit him perfectly. His bed was soft and warm, a stark contrast to the hard, cold streets where he used to sleep. Yet, amidst the opulence and the pampering, he felt a profound sense of loneliness. He was surrounded by people, but none of them could fill the void left by his parents. The maids and butlers treated him with kindness, but their smiles never reached their eyes. His adoptive parents showered him with gifts and affection, but their love felt foreign, like a well-tailored suit that didn't quite fit. Despite the comforts of his new life, he found himself longing for his old one. He yearned for the simplicity, the authenticity, the love. He missed his parents' laughter, their warm hugs, their comforting words. He missed his old life, his real life, and so he learned that not all that glitters is gold, that wealth and comfort can't replace love and belonging, that a mansion can't be a home if your heart isn't in it. But beneath the glittering surface, the past continued to haunt him. As the years passed, the pain didn't fade, but it shaped him. Our protagonist, once a broken child, began to bloom in the nurturing environment of his new family. The shards of his shattered past were woven into the fabric of his character, turning him into a diamond under pressure. The memories of his parents, the echoes of that fateful night, they fueled his passion, his drive, his determination to rise above his circumstances. He was no longer the helpless child, but a young man brimming with ambition. In the face of adversity, he chose resilience. He threw himself into his studies, the world of business fascinating him. His mind was sharp, his spirit unbroken, his resolve unwavering. He was a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of the human spirit, a symbol of triumph over tragedy. As he grew older, his adoptive family's wealth became a stepping stone for his own dreams. He dived into the world of entrepreneurship, his ideas innovative, his approach unconventional. He wasn't just another rich kid living off his parents' fortune, he was a self-made success story. His ventures flourished, his influence expanded, his empire grew. He was a millionaire in his own right, his wealth a testament to his hard work and determination. But beneath his success, beneath the facade of the perfect life, there were lingering questions, unanswered mysteries. His parents' death, the night that changed everything, it still haunted him. There were gaps in the story, pieces of the puzzle that didn't fit. He had everything he could ask for, the love of his family, the respect of his peers, the fruits of his labor. Yet something was missing. The past refused to stay buried, the truth clawed at his conscience, the questions demanded answers. He was a man on a mission, a journey to uncover the truth, a voyage into the depths of his past. He was ready to face whatever was hidden in the shadows. He had everything he could ask for, yet something was missing. Sometimes the answers we seek are closer than we think. There was a day that was just like any other, or so it seemed. Our protagonist, now a millionaire, was rummaging through an old box of keepsakes. A box that held the mementos of a life that was, in essence, a gift from his adoptive parents. But among the trinkets and photographs, something caught his eye. A slightly yellowed envelope, sealed and unaddressed. Curiosity piqued. He carefully slid his finger under the flap. The paper inside was old, the ink faded, but the words were as clear as the day they were written. It was a letter, a confession, his adoptive father's confession. As he began to read, his heart pounded in his chest, each word echoing like a gong in his head. His adoptive father, the man who had given him a second chance at life, was also the one who had stolen his first. The one who had mercilessly murdered his biological parents to claim their hidden fortune. The world around him blurred as the gravity of the revelation sank in. The man he had admired, respected, and loved was a murderer. His life, his success, the empire he had built were all tainted by this horrific truth. His beginnings were not humble as he had thought, but tragic and cruel. The letter fell from his trembling hands, the words etched into his mind. His adoptive father had not only stolen his parents, but also his innocence. He had been living a lie, a life built on betrayal and blood money. His knees gave way and he found himself on the cold floor, the letter of confession floating gently down to rest beside him. He was a millionaire, yes, but at what cost? What was the value of a life built on the ruins of another? The truth hit him like a freight train. His life was built on a lie. Unraveling the past can be a dangerous game. Our protagonist, now a millionaire, is on the precipice of a revelation that could shatter his world. The secret letter, penned by his adoptive father, is a confession of the darkest kind. In a confrontation filled with tension, the protagonist faces his adoptive father. The silence is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Then, with a voice barely above a whisper, he asks the question that has been gnawing at his soul. Is it true? Did you murder my parents? The father, a picture of stoic calm, doesn't deny it. Instead, he admits his guilt with a chilling frankness that sends shivers down the spine. Yes, he says, I did what I had to do. His voice carries a warning, an undercurrent of threat that's impossible to ignore. Leave the past where it belongs, son, he advises, his tone heavy with unspoken consequences. But how do you ignore a truth as damning as this? How do you continue to live knowing that the man who gave you a second chance, the man who made you a millionaire, is the same man who ripped your world apart? Our protagonist is left to grapple with these questions, his world spinning out of control. His heart pounds in his chest, a wild drum beating an erratic rhythm of shock, disbelief, and an anger so raw it threatens to consume him. The father's confession hangs in the air like a dark cloud, casting a long shadow over everything. A secret that was meant to stay buried is now out in the open, its consequences far-reaching and unpredictable. But could he let go of the past, knowing the truth? Or was this just the beginning of a battle he never asked for? As the scene ends, these questions linger, echoing in the silence, leaving us to wonder what our protagonist will do next.